Does your team have a strategy? Do folks on your team actually know what that strategy is? Probably not. I'm Peter Nichol, DatascienceCIO. Today we're going to talk about roadmaps. If you think about what the most important things to have in a roadmap are, first is you need to have objectives, measures, and timing. So it starts with the objectives. What are we trying to do? Second is measures. How are we measuring this? And last is timing. When is this happening? If you ask a random person on your team if they understand what the strategy is, and you don't get a fluffy, well, we're trying to improve this or improve that, maybe you do have a strategy in place and maybe it's well communicated. Most likely it's not. And if your team's not 5 or 10 people and it's closer to a couple hundred or 500 or thousands of folks, it's pretty evident that probably those individuals don't understand what your strategy is. And what this means is they're not aligned. They don't have a shared mission and they don't have a shared purpose, which is key to making sure that you're able to deliver efficiently, effectively, and on target. So start with the objectives. What are you really trying to accomplish? I'll provide a link below to an example one-page roadmap if folks are interested. But essentially, I'll walk you through it today. On the left-hand side, we have the 3 biggest priorities that you're trying to focus on. You could think of them as burning imperatives. Essentially, it's the top 3 ideas of what you're trying to accomplish. Next are the capabilities you're trying to enable. You can think of them as objectives, and essentially we're trying to identify the key objectives that you're going to focus on. Typically, I have 12 major objectives that I hyper-focus on over a 3-year vision. And next are, what does that really mean? What does that objective mean to a layperson? So it's translated and deciphered a little bit. And next, we have our timeline. Typically, I use a 3-year horizon and a quarterly measures, but I only actually have 2 goals per quarter. So I only have 2 goals a year. So Q1 and Q2 has a goal, and Q3 and Q4 has an objective. That's it. And the reason is it keeps the focus singular on something very specific that you can measure and that you can obtain. So on the first page, it's all a one-page strategy. We have the objectives, the measures, and the timing. And anybody, whether they're familiar with the team or they're new to the team, can look at that and get a good idea of where we're heading, what we're trying to accomplish, and how we're going to measure our success. So do I only use a one-page strategy? Not all the time. Sometimes you need to elaborate and explain not only what those objectives are, but the supporting key results. If you need key results or the KPIs to be measured, then you're going to need supporting detail. And you'll probably need a second page to elaborate and expand on that one-page strategy. But it's not always necessary. So as you're starting out, focus on the top 3 most important things: the objectives, the measures, and the timing. If you can get that down where people on your team can recite that and understand where you're heading, you've already got a win and you've established a shared priority and a shared mission. If you have questions on how to build a roadmap or interested in a sample, just hit me up below and I'm happy to share a sample with you. Hi, I'm Peter Nichol, DatascienceCIO. Have a great day.